Brothers collapse. Since then, it's been a downward financial spiral. Numbers out this week say things are evening out, and Ben Bernanke went as far as to say the recession was over. But where does all this leave us in our day-to-day lives? Joining us to help us figure it all out is the watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski. Good morning, Chris.
I thought we were going to have some sort of anniversary cake here or something like that. You know, party hats, noisemakers, Lehman Brothers clocks.
That was yesterday.
Oh,
wait, yeah. Well, no. Let's talk about this, because it seems like there's some good news that we're hearing now, but things just still seem to be up and down for day Americans. What the heck does this mean? And is it true that the recession is over, like Bernanke is saying?
Well, a recession is defined. It's important you have to define these things. Recessions are defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. They're expecting in the third quarter of this year to have anywhere between 2.5% to 3% growth, meaning that we are growing, not going backwards. We're out of the recession. But unfortunately, most people didn't actually look at what Bernanke said. He said, yeah, we're probably going to be seeing some growth in the third quarter, but unemployment's not going to improve. There's still problems in the credit markets. We have a long way to go, and there's risk of going backwards.
Why are people still losing their jobs?
Well, it's the same reason. Businesses are afraid to hire. News yesterday comes out that the cap and trade bill will cost Americans $1,700 a person. What is that going to cost businesses? We do not know what the deal is in regards to health care. What's that going to cost employers? This basically puts small business owners, which is the lifeblood of our economy, in a catatonic state. They don't want to move. They don't want to do anything until they know what the rules are going to be.
Sure. And, you're talking about employment. We talked last week about temp jobs and how a lot of people are taking those and how those are up, or at least unemployment in regards to temporary jobs are down. But I think a lot of people are worried, and this recession has changed so many people's lives. Do you think that people have made change for the better in the day-to-day lives? Do you think they've learned from what we've gone through in the last year?
I hope so, but then, you also hear stories this past week, and this is not getting reported, people that went and they did the cash for clunker deal, went out and bought all these new cars. Now they're defaulting on those already. We're already having a problem with people just got cars in the cash for clunker deal, can't afford the cars that they got. I hope that there's some change, and I hope people actually put their stuff into perspective and start saving, and obviously the savings rate has come up, but we're going to have to wait and see. Recessions are like the lymphatic system of our body. It cleans out all the junk. They're necessary. They're important. What we need to have is strong growth coming out of a recession that takes us on and moves us forward.
Okay, because we're always kind of seeing, we see these good numbers come out, and then we get hit with, okay, more people are continuing to lose their jobs. So what can we expect even in the near future? Next week, are we going to see bad numbers come out?
I wouldn't expect much for jobs for an extended period of time until the landscape is clear. It's like I said, you're a business owner, you're looking at a minefield in front of you. You don't know where to step. You don't know where to go because you don't know what the rules are going to be. Until the policies are cleared up, and that has a lot to do with Washington, D.C., don't really expect much. Expect us to skid along.
Okay, guys,
for a while.
well, if you going on in the world of finance, there's gold in them there hills. But is the defining peak of those hills better known as Mount Inflation? Here with his climbing gear, ready to help us belay down this gold-plated mountain of BS is the watchdog on Wall Street, Chris Markowski.
Puns. Good with the puns.
Lots of puns. I'll do lots more, trust me. All right, so before we get into the hucksters there you see on the television screen telling you need to buy gold, let's talk about the figures out. Gold at an 18-month high, the dollar at a year low. Explain to the folks how these two things are related.
I think the best way I can go about explaining this is people, if you think of our currency almost like the United States, like stock certificates, people are running away from it. They're taking a look at our balance sheet and they're saying, oh, geez, look at this corporation, this USA corporation, look at the deficits, look at the debt, look at what they have going forward. We're like, we're out of here. And that's causing some problem. You're seeing flight to other assets like stocks, like gold, like other metals.
And the belief that gold, by some, is more stable. But you turn on television now, and to me, when you see like G. Gordon Liddy, that sets off a red flag.
There's a lot of them.
Ed McMahon, MC Hammer, and on down the list, telling you, cash for gold, buy gold, get these gold coins. Is this a good idea for people?
Let me put this into perspective for everybody. The worst performing asset over the past 200 years is gold. Underperformed everything. It's used as a hedge from time to time. But why are you going to go and you're going to buy gold bars and you're going to stick them into your safe? I mean, even if you believe one of these wacko Armageddon types that's out there. I mean, I've seen Mad Max. Have you seen Mad Max?
Yeah.
He didn't need gold. He needed guns and he needed fuel. You can't eat it. You can't put it into your car. In conjunction with other things, and there's various different ways you can have it in your portfolio with other base metals, it's fine. But people are going out there and going off the deep end and selling out all their stocks, everything they have, and buying gold.
And they're doing these gold parties where they're hawking jewelry for pennies. I mean, they're getting not any of the value that they're supposed to be getting out of this.
Well, I host a national radio show, and you see them advertising all the time. These guys are wicked, okay? These gold salesmen, these people you're seeing sell on TV, 30 to 40% spread in what the actual gold is worth.
Okay, so we're talking this morning about whether or not you are constitutionally protected if you give the 5-0 the finger.
Yeah.
So sometimes people, they get a little bit heated when they get pulled over for speeding. Maybe you're just pulled over for like 10 miles per hour and you're like,
and we're joined for this discussion by our friend Chris Markowski, who has an interesting story to share with us as well. But first, let's set this up, okay? Basically, this comes out of most recently. It's been an issue, of course, for many years in this country about whether you can speak in a vulgar fashion to some member of authority, and it's usually protected by the courts as free speech as long as you're not creating a public disturbance, and that's how it's usually defined as far as disorderly conduct. But it is an interesting issue because a lot of cops say, look, we need the latitude of discretion to say when someone is being disorderly, whereas people like the ACLU and others, that defend free speech say, look, you can't have this slippery slope. You can't have it up to cops. It's either illegal or it's not. So what do you think about this, Chris?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think you've got to be an idiot to flipping off a police officer.
That's what I think. I would never have the guts to do that.
Let's talk common sense for a second.
Yeah.
Why would you do something like that? You have no hope of getting out of a ticket whatsoever.
Well, you see those cop cam videos where people go absolutely crazy. That one, I remember the guy in the SUV who's screaming at the top of the lungs. It sounds like a woman. But people get so heated.
But they're doing their job. I mean, you knew you were speeding, more than likely. You get pulled over. What are you berating the poor guy for? But we deal with this here in the news. I mean, it's a free speech issue. We can't say certain words on television, can we?
Right.
Can't say certain things on the radio. I can't. Right. Sometimes I try to get around it by using other things, but you've got to be very, very careful because it's major fines. But I guess, I mean, the ACLU does have a point, but so how dumb are you to flip off a police officer?
So tell us about the last time you got pulled over.
Hey, there we go. Actually, it's a competition between my wife and I. I get aggravated with my wife. I said, she got a couple speeding tickets. I said, how did you not get out of it? And I did. Right. Way better looking than I am for crying out loud.
You're supposed to be able to cry and,
I pulled out my buzz card on my way back because I was coming back from here, going back to where I live in Sarasota onto another. I was guest appearing on Dora the Explorer or something like that. And I told them, I said, I'm in a hurry, guys. And they, oh, you're all right, we'll let you go. So you guys got me off.
So it was the Daily Buzz that got you off from a ticket.
Yep.
Wow. I don't think.
I wonder if I'm going to have to pay taxes on that.
You may.
But you didn't break down and cry or do anything.
No, and I most certainly didn't flip them off either.
Okay. Well, smart man then.
Well, let us know what you think about this. I mean, should we be constitutionally protected from or is it disorderly conduct when you do say F you to a cop or you flip them off? Before we go, though, Chris, I want to get back to real quick because you were talking about something with gold, and I wanted to quickly talk about this again because this is important. You've seen all these gold ads all over the place and how you should hawk your gold. And tell us about these scam artists that some of these guys are.
My real job is protecting investors. That's what I do. I'm a consumer advocate, investor advocate. And one of the biggest scams that we're seeing right now is people that have gotten involved with these gold advertisement stuff you're seeing on TV. Be very, very careful. And that's what we do. We can help offer you advice on what to do and what not to do by getting to my website in regards to that. It's scary stuff.
Okay, but tell us about how you were saying, like, sometimes you buy into a gold and it's only 60% gold.
It's a 40% spread. The best way, it's a 40% spread. People think that they're spending $100,000 on gold. They're actually only getting $60,000 worth of gold. I mean, any other business, it would be absolutely illegal. Legal for stocks, anything else, but this is a completely unregulated market.
So you're talking about a 40% commission for somebody selling you gold.
We're trying to get lawyers. We're trying to figure out a way we can go after these guys. It's impossible. It's unregulated.
So be very careful because these ads are all over the television.
You see them every day.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them.